Well, Sean, she's talking about climate change, of course, and saying that we have to eliminate fossil fuels, all fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas, in 10 years. This would be basically a suicide pact. Over 80% of the U.S. and the world's energy comes from fossil fuels. And the only reason for banning them is the so-called climate apocalypse or climate catastrophe. I see AOC recruiting young teachers and whole classes of young children against the apocalypse, they're saying. They're telling these children that there's going to be an apocalypse in 10 years if they don't save the climate. I think this is child abuse myself. The whole climate change movement has now reverted to using kids as a front for not only climate change and ending the use of fossil fuels, but the whole ball of wax about socialism. I think that's really what they're trying to sell.
Patrick, it's interesting you say that. There was a really cute girl on 60 Minutes last night that's suing the federal government. Apparently, this lawsuit's been going on for 4 years. And as I listen, clearly she believes everything, and I agree in the sense that it's very apocalyptic. Joe Bastardi, one thing I love about you is you can tell me what was the big storm in 1903 and where it happened and why it happened and what the conditions were that caused it to happen and compare it to today. And you've been saying that almost the same thing as Patrick Moore.
Well, yeah, I'd say the same thing. 1903, by the way, Atlantic City got hit by a hurricane from the southeast in September. So I'm glad you brought up 03.
Show off.
Yeah.
All right,
well,
go ahead.
When I saw the new Green Deal, Sean, I thought it was a Saturday Night Live skit. Drunk uncle spouting off. We're going to build railroads across the ocean. Let's build one to the moon. We could put a restaurant up there. Great food, but no atmosphere. It'd be a vegan restaurant, though. The whole thing is meant to get you to try to fight against an extreme position while there's incremental creeping of this. And Dr. Moore just described it. What they're doing to kids. They're indoctrinating kids. Where would those kids be if we did not have the fossil fuel era? The true hockey sticks of the fossil fuel era are life expectancy, the amount of people on the planet, and personal GDP. They're all skyrocketing. It's almost like these people are ungrateful for what got them here.
So my question, Patrick, to you is, isn't natural gas one of the cleaner burning gases out there? Aren't there ways we can improve the environment simultaneously while also using the lifeblood of every economy that feeds everybody, as you rightly point out?
Well, Sean, we've actually improved the cleanliness of all the fossil fuels. Coal, oil, the vehicle emissions today are less than 90%, have been improved by more than 90% from what they were decades ago. And, we could use more nuclear energy for producing electricity. That's true, and hydroelectric. But funny, they're against both of those, too, which are the only two really reliable, cost-effective technologies that could replace fossil fuels. And, we could put nuclear reactors in the big ships, just like the Russians' whole icebreaker fleet and nuclear navies are powered with nuclear. We could do that. So there are some places where we could reduce fossil fuel. But when it comes to transportation and also agriculture, food, and moving people and goods around, if you stop moving the food into the cities, people in the cities will starve. They can't grow their food in Manhattan, enough for all those people in the high rises.
Not enough tomato pots, I agree, or enough lamb mess. I'm going to give the last word to Joe Bastardi. We only have about 15 seconds, Joe. You get to close this out.
If you take a look at the entire history of the planet, the 10 billion years, however far you want to go back, this would be the first time that man is controlling the climate. I tend to doubt that that is the case.